Part of me was concerned that that strike on that boat that took out those 11 cartel members was going to start something. I was, just from the little bit that I've seen on cartels, they're extremely powerful. And I've even heard that some of them basically run certain countries or hand in hand with the government. They work hand in hand with the governments. So if all of that is to be believed, I think things could get worse. So when I saw this, I was like, all right, let's check this out.
Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro rallying his 8 million citizens to fight the United States, claiming it's essential to their sovereignty. This comes as President Trump deploys stealth fighter jets to the Caribbean and puts the Maduro regime on notice.
And when I see boats coming in, loaded up the other day with also...
Wait a minute. A dictator of Venezuela is talking about fighting us? Wait a minute, so why does he want to fight us? Because President Trump is trying to take out the cartel. See, that's what I was just talking about. Is that what's going on? Is he working hand in hand? See what I'm saying? I need more details on this.
Sorts of drugs, probably fentanyl mostly, but all sorts of drugs. And we're going to take them out. And if people want to have fun going on the high seas or the low seas, they're going to be in trouble.
Let's bring in former acting DEA administrator under Trump, Derek Maltz, along with PragerU political commentator and Venezuelan political refugee, Franklin Camargo. Franklin, I'm going to start with you because you know Venezuela very well. You know the population. Let's talk about this militia that he claims he has. What kind of militia is this, and how will they stand up to the U.S. Marines?
Yes, by using simple math, we know that there are not 8 million people willing to die for Nicolas Maduro in the narco-terrorist state. Before the refugee crisis, the Venezuelan population was around 30 million. 30 million Venezuelans in Venezuela.
Okay.
15 years later, we know that around 25 of the population have escaped, have left the country. So in the last election in July 2024, the elections that Maduro stole, we know that he really got around 3 million votes. So are we saying that 3 million Venezuelans are willing to vote for him? Only 3 million, but 8 million Venezuelans are willing to die for him and for a narco-terrorist regime? So by looking at the numbers, we know this is not real. Maduro is desperate, and he's desperate because he knows he's facing the most powerful country in the world.
Yeah, I think his militia is also very hungry these days. And even if you included those numbers, there's a lot of old people in there. They're the ones who couldn't leave the country as easily as some of the younger people. So this militia is a joke. And by the way, social media is having a lot of fun in Venezuela with the pictures of the militia. So let's move to Derek, because Derek, I'm seeing 10 F-35.
Maybe after he was elected, he was able to gain popularity. And maybe he thinks he can, get 8 million to follow him to war. I'm still a little confused about this. I want to make sure that I'm connecting the dots that I should be connecting. I'm trying to figure out why he wants to go to war for Trump taking out cartels. I'm trying not to say that he's working with them, but I would just think about that for a second. It's it'd be like if you heard that a foreign country took out some American drug dealers, and then Trump wanting to go to war over that. That would make you think that he's working with them or something like that. You know what I mean?
F-35 fighter jets that have gone into Puerto Rico to assist the fleet of destroyers that are out there. We know there's 4,000 Marines. Tell me if I'm wrong as I assess this. This isn't just, we don't need this force just to stop the drugs and the ghost ships of oil going out. Clearly, that's stopping because of that presence, and they're not able to fund the regime the way they used to because of that. But it's also putting pressure on Maduro. But I think it may be a message to his inner circle as well, because doesn't that presence of the United States make it easier for someone in his inner circle to take the $50 million reward and turn him in when American forces are right there ready to help receive him?
Rachel, you're right. Spot on. I mean, this president, the vice president, the secretary, secretary of war, I might add, have made it real.
He's using his laptop, camera, and mic. All the techies know. Damn.
Really clear they will use every tool on the table to keep the deadly drugs out of America, right? The top priority is to keep all Americans safe and secure. They're going to establish law and order, right? 20 years now, at least, Venezuela has been a command and control hub for global drug trafficking, not just in the United States. The leaders in the government of Venezuela have formed this deadly alliance, this dangerous alliance with the terrorists. So, of course, President Trump is brilliant in how he's putting the pressure on the entire regime. They're going to roll. Wow. He's going to be out of action soon, one way or another. So the U.S. government, Rachel, is building an army of good to defeat the evil. As you know, because you've been covering this with me for a long time, the kids are dying at record levels. The consequences must be severe. We've never had a terrorist killing this amount of Americans in the history of the United States. So enough is enough. And thank you to this administration. We're finally seeing some progress.
Yeah, sending a message to the entire hemisphere. Chinese out, narco dictators out. There's a new sheriff in town. This will be the president's greatest foreign policy legacy, if he is able to do this. And I don't think there's any doubt something's about to happen. All right, Derek Maltz, Franklin, come up.
Sounds like she got a cold. And yeah, something about to happen. That would be wild. And what's this I hear? Like, I think I saw it in the comments or something about Trump sending our troops over to, where was it? Is it over to Ukraine or something? I need to know that story, because that'll put us at war with Russia for real, correct? But why would he be sending them there? I need to get the details. I haven't seen any articles, but I heard people talking about it. Guys were talking about it at the gym, because there's a guy I know that wanted to go to the military, and he was talking about, like, he wasn't going there to see action. He wanted to get into the tech part and, help with technology with it. And he was like, the good thing is we're at peace times right now. And then that same day, later on, we had heard about him sending troops. So I was like, bro, did you hear what he said? He was like, I did. I was like, it's crazy. We was talking about it. And that day, talking about he might send troops. We're talking about sending troops there. So talk to y'all later.